obviously it was kind of a plan to have a tougher non-conference schedule coming into Big Ten play now. How do you kind of feel like you guys have navigated that non-conference side of it?
Well, I think we've had opportunities to see different lineups. We've had opportunities to see different styles. We've had opportunities to play some really good competition. And so I think that really certainly sets us up to be more as prepared as we can be, heading into conference play. And it is kind of interesting, the way the Big Ten schedule starts off. And so we're really excited about an opportunity to play at home, to open up Big Ten season, play against Maryland. I think Maryland's playing at a really, really high level. So really excited about the opportunity.
Yeah, is it kind of like an opportunity to prove that this is maybe a different team than in past years with this game against Maryland right off the get-go?
Well, I think it's an opportunity to play against one of the best teams in the country, and at that point in time to compete and figure out how we can compete. That's going to be really important for us in this matchup.
And you've kind of been talking all non-conference and even in the preseason about defense needing to be like an identity. How do you feel like the defense has been going so far this season? It seems like it's pretty well on track with what you were.
I would say that our defense is much improved from where we've been. I would say we still have times when our offense isn't working as efficiently as we want it to be, that our defense almost needs to be perfect, which is really hard to do, especially as you get into Big Ten play, and teams in the Big Ten just score so well, and so many players have the ability to put the ball in the basket in so many different ways. So it's going to continue to be tested, but we've got to continue to sharpen up some of our execution points defensively. But I would say we're better than we've been, and that's an exciting thing for us.
Is there a team that you play that closely simulates what you're going to see Sunday, maybe more than others?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe little bits and pieces of games here and there, but not really a team that plays like Maryland, I wouldn't say.
What makes Maryland unique?
Well, I think their speed, their athleticism, their ability to put the ball in the basket. I mean, they're scoring like 90 points a game at a 50% clip and getting 16 offensive rebounds and getting the free throw line, 22 times a game. So their ability to, I think, be really impactful on the offensive end. And they get there because they find ways defensively to speed teams up and turn them over and make them feel uncomfortable, and then they get into transition. And so I think they just present kind of a lot of unique challenges.
It seems like that's always been them, getting teams to play faster. So what's the key to playing at the pace you want to play at?
Well, I think we want to play fast too, and that we're a team that is playing faster than we have in the past, but for us, that is certainly on the defensive end, working to get stops first and foremost, and on the offensive end, recognizing and taking really high percentage shots, whatever those shots are, whether that's early offense, whether that's later in the offense, and then giving ourselves opportunities that way, but being really, I think, composed in the type of shots that we want to get on both on the offensive end, whether it's early offense or whether it's later.
Anything else, Andrew? I got a few more, but I don't want to hog it.
No, by all means.
How's Amaya adjusted to playing more off the ball from years past?
Yeah, I think if you look at Amaya from her freshman year to her senior year now, her assist turnover ratio has gone from 1.14 to 3.22, I think is where she's at right now. And look at how big of an impact she's making for us in terms of how she's defending and how she's rebounding and all those type of things. She is doing so many things, more things to impact the game at a different level. And then the scoring is going to pick up for her. That's just who she is. It's something she's done. And so we really believe that that's something that's just the next part of her game that will continue to kind of come with this season.
Is that something you talk about with her, about the scoring? Or
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the impact that she's making.
Yeah.
And how much more she's impacting the game now than she ever has. And so that's something that's really exciting for her growth.
I think it's 3 straight double-figure rebounding games for Sophie. A lot on the offensive end as well. Is it the ball's just finding her? Is more of an emphasis? Is she playing more? What have you seen just on the glass with her?
I think it's a little bit of both things. She's playing a little bit more, but I also think she is putting herself in positions to get more rebounds. I think she's moving well to go get them. I think she is aware now that there are a lot of teams that are really physical, and the Big Ten is a very physical conference, and so she's got to use her versatility more than just being physical.
Anything else?
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, great, thank you.
How's the trip down to the Bahamas? Everything you guys hoped and dreamed for November in Minnesota?
Well, I think we would have left with 2 wins, so definitely have to go back and reflect on that and see how we can be better. But it was a fun time for the team and a lot of team bonding opportunities.
coming into the season, having a better like non-conference competitive schedule was obviously kind of a priority when setting the season up. How do you feel like that increase in competition has kind of prepared you for coming into Big Ten play? Whereas, last year and years prior, maybe it wouldn't have.
Yeah, I mean, as we know, the Big Ten is every night is a hard game. So I think it's definitely preparing us for those challenges, and it prepares us with just like how to prepare for games like that again too. So.
And with Maryland coming up, I mean, what's kind of the thought process on how to pull the upset against Maryland this weekend?
I think just knowing personnel really well, being locked in on our scout. You can't take a possession off, especially we've seen that in these few games that we've dropped, how important that is. So just knowing personnel and knowing that they're athletic, they're long, they're strong, they're going to want to play fast. So how we can contain that and just play our game ultimately.
Is there a certain sense of excitement of just having a top 10 ranked team coming in here to start off the Big Ten calendar?
I think we're excited to pack the barn for sure. That's always a goal of ours, and hoping a ranked opponent again will help with that. So definitely excited. Yeah, excited to bring the energy.
Grace, how has your game evolved, do you think, in the time that you've been here through the 3 years?
Yeah, I think my game has evolved a lot since I've been here. I think just being able to take different reads in different ways, if that makes sense, kind of whether that's coming off ball screens or doing things that I never really did before college. I've just evolved in being able to do more of that and just kind of bring a more balanced read to the defense.
So you said last year you started posting up a lot more, and Dawn said you did a lot of that in high school.
Yeah.
So how has that been to translate? Because you're doing a lot of that now this year as well. Has that always just been something you've been good at?
Yeah, I was the post in high school, so.
Were you really?
Yeah, I'm 5'10", which was tall, not anymore. But so that was kind of what I did. So it's just kind of taking that and now again evolving it and scoring in different ways, whether that's off the block or you can't always overpower people at this level. The guards are stronger, taller. So I think just evolving in that way too.
Have you guys thought, Andrew was asking Coach about the defense. It seems like that's really kept you guys in some of these games when the offense hasn't quite been there at times. What's been the key to that, you think? Just you're holding everybody to a lot lower percentages than they're usually shooting.
Just energy or our intensity, communication's huge for us. I think especially we've seen so far this year just how we've started games is really important, and just bringing that intensity, getting 3 stops in a row. We call them TKOs, so how many of those we can get a game. But I think just locking in on that side, because we know we can control that. Can't necessarily always control if the ball goes in the hoop. So we can control our energy and effort on the defensive end and hope that'll lead to faster transition and getting quicker scores.
Is that about right, Grace?
It's about right,
Can you
yeah.
handle it all?
I think helping each other has been a big focus of ours this year and in years past, but I think we're doing the best job of it that we can. Just helping each other on defense, and it's a 5-person rotation. So
I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing about offense. What do you think's been missing at times from the offense to be more efficient?
I think it just comes down to continuing to be consistent and trusting our preparation. I mean, we put up so many shots a day and our whole lives, so it's really nothing new. I think eventually the ball will find its way in the hole. Just got to keep staying confident in shooting and just finding the best open shot, I think, for whoever it is on the floor, because we have so many scorers.
yeah, we talk a lot about tempo, kind of getting into things quickly and trying to move the defense that way so that we can get those easier shots and just be confident when we're shooting those shots.
Mm-hmm.
You guys like having Big Ten games this early?
Yeah, I think it's a good test early on. But like you said, we've had some already great games that we've been able to see how we compare to that, higher level. So yeah, we're excited, and hopefully, like she said, to pack the barn and get some people there.
What's unique about Maryland? It seems like they're even a little different stylistically than some other Big Ten teams.
Yeah, I mean they're super long. I think you see that their traditional 5 isn't really a 5. She can stretch the floor, pick and pop type of player. So they're gonna have a lot of different looks for us, different matchups. So we'll just, like G said, have to help each other and be able to hopefully use So's presence inside too and take advantage of that. But yeah, they're just super long, athletic. They press, so how we can take care of the ball and get the best shots.
What have you guys seen from Amaya being off the ball so much more than she's been this year? It seems like she's impacting a lot of different areas. She always has, but now even more so.
Yeah, I think being off the ball, one thing obviously which isn't necessarily correlated to that, but her rebounding has been huge for us. And she's still able to get her assists that she's been getting for us, like in the other years. Like when she has the ball, she makes great reads with it. So I think that's been another thing that she's been doing this year off the ball, which is harder to do, I feel like, off the ball when you're not having the ball in your hands all the time.
What's Tori being back mean?
It's great. I mean,
Yeah.
she picks the ball up. She usually guards, one of the better players on the other team, and she's just a pest out there. She gets so many open layups, free points, basically just picking people. And then I think she's underrated, just her offensive ability also. She can really score the ball, but her being back is like a sigh of relief for everybody. She's so fun to have out there.
She always brings the intensity on everything.
Grace, I wanted to ask you more about like going from a post player to a guard, because I feel like that's something a lot of like girls have to do, going from high school to the NCAA. Like, what's that process like of kind of relearning like spacing and where to be on the court even?
Yeah, I think going from a post to a guard is kind of a stretch. I feel like I guess I wasn't like a true post, but yeah, because obviously like I always shot the ball when I was in high school too. But I think the ways that it's different is just like movement, I feel like. But I came from a AAU program that had a lot of free movement like we do here, and you kind of just make reads off of it, which I think has helped me be able to be versatile in both guard and post aspects of the game.
Is there anything like when you were kind of coming up through high school and like developing your skills that you would like maybe change looking back on it? Whether that's like, I know AAU culture has kind of taken over women's basketball like it did with men's a few years back, but like, is there anything you'd like change, maybe like focusing on ball handling more, or like stretching your range as a shooter, or?
It's a good question. I think not necessarily change, but I think you always look back and you're like, I could have done more.
Mm-hmm.
I think you always, sorry, just thinking. I think I always tried to
I come for philosophical questions, sorry.
No, I feel like I always tried to like have that range, because I think that helps you like stretch the floor when you are versatile in those ways, and trying to be able to work on, I think I would just say work on all the fundamentals more, because those are the things that we talk about here, like the little things are what sets you apart. So I think those things just more so. Sorry, that was a lot.
That's what I'm here for, Bob. Right? On the defensive end, is it kind of similar, having to go from like guarding people more your size, on the wings versus now being a guard defender?
I think AAU is kind of, I guarded guards all the time too. And yeah, you go against so many great players that you just recognize too, even just like playing in the Big Ten. There's so many people you played against already, and those long defenders in there, for sure.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Great.
Thanks,
Fun.
guys.
Have me call my kids, so I don't